people of my YouTube channel. Just hi. This is week 7 NFL picks. As you can see in the right corner of your screen, I'm 60, 32, and 12. If you are annoyed by the one being the Lions and Cardinals, make it 60 and 33. What freaking ever. I don't care. I'll call it 1 just because I'd like my record to be better. But, yeah, as I scroll down, you can make sure... See, these are my non-updated picks. As you can see, I missed that Thursday game, that Thursday game, that Thursday game, that Thursday game, and that Thursday game. Finally, I broke that streak. And hopefully this week's going to also help that. So, yeah. Thursday game. Tomorrow, probably, because this is going up on Wednesday, because I'll probably not be here tomorrow. But, yeah, so... Chiefs and Broncos, I think I'll choose the Chiefs, even though they've kind of been on a downslide, and Broncos have kind of been on just going up. I think the Chiefs will still find a way to pull it out and win, because they're still an insanely good team. Rams and Falcons. Falcons are about the worst team in the league. I would say they're the worst team. They still have talent. They just don't use it. And as much as I hate to say it, probably should have kept Kyle. Actually, I'd like to say it. Probably should have kept Kyle Shanahan. He's a good coach. The reason I said that I would hate to say it. I don't like Kyle Shanahan. He now coaches Utah, even though he played college in BYU. Unless it's a different Kyle Shanahan. I doubt it is, because he's that coach. But he played college at BYU, go Cougars, but he now coaches Utah. Same with our head coach now. He used to coach for Utah. Whatever. Shanahan's a good coach. Should have stayed with the Falcons, and BYU would have beat Utah multiple times by now. And just to go on record, the refs screwed us over this week and last week against South Florida. I was there. If you didn't see that video, go watch it. But anyway, back onto subject. Rams are also on a downslide. Falcons are on a bigger one, and they suck. So, yeah, Rams win. Dolphins, Bills. I was at the Dolphins game last week. Literally, that 2-point conversion, it was like, I was on, like, the 20th row, going, like, pretty much right on the edge. So, like, the end zone was, like, right in front of me. So, I saw it way up close and in person, and I almost wanted to die when they called a freaking screen pass. Yes, a screen pass on a 2-point conversion. Just, that's so annoying. No, they are not tanking. They said that they are not tanking. And, so just because they're losing games doesn't mean they're tanking. They just have a horrible team. Rosen, I hate you. You screwed us over. If Fitzpatrick was in the whole game, we would have won. I'd like to at least win one game this year. We still have the Bengals and Giants. I would say the Steelers on Monday night and, next week after week 7, but they're looking pretty decent at the moment. Just beat the Chargers, who kind of are also on a downside. Everyone's on a downside as of recently. But yeah. So Dolphins will not beat the Bills, because if they can't beat the Redskins, they can't beat the Bills in Orchard Park. I rest my case. Jaguars and Bengals. Jaguars, because the Bengals are the worst team other than the Dolphins. Moving on. Vikings and Lions. I think the Lions will beat the Vikings, even though they just beat the Eagles, who I think are really insanely good. I have their quarterback and their running back and their receiver, Jeffrey. Oh, and by running back, I meant Sanders. And their kicker. I like the Eagles. I think they're good. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Dolphins fan, if you didn't pick that up. But I still am high on the Eagles. I think they're pretty good. And they've had a horribly hard schedule up to this point. Yes. And they have a Cowboys this week. That's not a whole lot easier, even though the Cowboys are on a downslide. But whatever. I think the Lions will beat the Vikings. They should have beat the Packers. I'm so glad they didn't, because I had them on my Eliminators challenge. And, you can only pick one team a week, and you can't use that team again the rest of the year. I was debating on whether to do the Broncos or the Packers. I should have done the Broncos, because, the Broncos, they won, first off. Second off, the Packers barely won, and now I can't use the Packers again. And I can use the Broncos again, but when am I going to do that exactly? Moving on. Speaking of the Packers, Packers. I think the Packers are going to beat the Raiders. This might have been my pick this week if I didn't pick the Packers last week. But anyway, Packers will beat the Raiders, even though the Raiders have looked pretty good this year for the Raiders, for what we expected. Texans, Colts. Texans just beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. That's always a victory. Colts, I'm still a little lower on than most people, but whatever. I still think the Texans will win. Cardinals, Giants, I don't think Daniel Jones is very good at all. Kyler Murray is looking like an amazing quarterback. I think that, especially with Patrick Peterson coming back from suspension, that, they'll do it. Also, I forgot to mention, Jalen Ramsey just got traded to the Rams from the Jaguars. I failed to mention that on both of their team things, or on both of their games. So, I apologize for the inconvenience, but he did, yes. Moving on. Speaking of a team that's not on a downslide, the Niners are, I kind of was high on them. Oh, I got a text message. Wow. I was pretty high on them for what other people had. I didn't think they'd be this good. But they're playing the Redskins, who barely beat the Dolphins, who are practically a college team. But, yeah. Chargers, Titans. Chargers, because the Titans are the definition of mediocre. And, Chargers get Hunter Henry back this week. Well, he was playing last week, but he'll be here this week. Hopefully they play better, because I think that the Titans are horrible. Or maybe not. They're mediocre. Also, they're starting Tannehill, so that'll be interesting. Former Dolphin, by the way. One of the greatest days of my life was when they traded him. Saints Bears, this is another game that I kind of hope's on TV. A game I hope is on TV. Saints Bears, this is going to be a defensive battle. I'm going to die again. Oh, this happened last week. Saints and Bears. Defensive battle. I think the Saints will come out on top, though. Because the Bears' offense sucks, and I don't think Trubisky's back yet. So, yeah. Ravens, Seahawks. This is probably going to be my pick this week. Ravens are the most overrated team in the league. Seahawks are, they're rated pretty good. At home, 12th man. I think I'm going to pick them. Eagles, Cowboys. I think the Eagles will win, because the Cowboys are the least competent team in the league. Well, I guess the Falcons probably are, but Cowboys are the most injury-oriented team, and are kind of bad, or overrated still. Zeke's not doing a whole lot at all. But yeah, I think, again, I'm high on the Eagles, so I think they'll beat them. Make Cowboys lose 4 straight losses. Patriots and Jets. Patriots now have their second straight primetime game against a horrible team, even though the Jets just beat the Cowboys. But then again, the Cowboys are overrated, and Zeke's not very good, and they just got Sam Darnold back. I still think the Patriots will win. Also, if you look at it, the Patriots, their only reason they're a good team is week 1 they had the Steelers, who are, I guess they had Big Ben then, but I think that's their hardest game, because they got the Dolphins. They also got the Jets. They're already playing the Jets twice. They got the Bills, who actually are pretty decent. But, not very amazing. They got the Redskins. They got the Giants, and now they're getting the Jets again. The Bills and the Steelers, I think, are the only 2 teams out of 7 that are top half of the league. And the reason I say the Steelers is because, they still have Big Ben at that point, so that they were top half then. Even though they didn't look like it, but they probably were. So I believe they won the next week. Who'd they play? They played... no, they lost the next week. They played the Seahawks. So maybe the freaking Bills, who are barely a top half team, is the best team they've played all year. And they kind of barely won that game by like 6 points. And Josh Allen was out for some of the game. But anyway, Patriots are going to probably win that. I'm going to die. But whatever. See you guys next week with week 8 picks. Hopefully I go 16-0 and raise that record to 72, 31, or 32-1. See you guys.